Etapu, Assalamu alaikum, Namaste, Haroon Nefer. May Buddha bless you. This is Qesankh Keperu with another exciting broadcast for you. In this broadcast, we're going to be talking about how Black Lives Matter funds transgender groups. But before I do that, I'd like you to hit the like button on this video. This is your first time to my channel. Welcome. Hit the subscribe button to get notifications on when I go live and when I upload recorded videos. And if you like to learn more about my spiritual teachings, you can scroll down below and click on any one of the ebooks. And you'll learn so much more on the Kemetic culture and on the law of attraction, manifestation, that great stuff. But if that's not enough for you, you want to take your knowledge to the next level, become a Patreon supporter. You can do so for as little as $1, $5, or $20 per month, and you can cancel at any time. You will get exclusive access to instructional videos on the esoteric, videos that will teach you how to meditate, how to properly breathe, different types of magical mantras or cows, how to summon the ancestors, create an Urgabor spirit for your protection, and how to work with the oracles, divination. And if you are an Assayer level supporter, you'll get all your oracle readings for free. Then you'll also learn self-hypnosis to help you curb overeating, get your butt to the gym, and just overall spiritual wellness. So become a Patreon supporter today. Last but not least, share this video with family and friends so we can get the revolution started. Hetapu, Haroon Nefer, how are you? This is the one and only Qesankh Keperu, son of Ba'at, greeting you. Namaste. And I wasn't going to do this video, but something came up. Well, I wasn't planning on doing a video today, I should say. But something came up that caught my attention. I said, oh, I've got to discuss this, because in the Black community, we find that people are too reactive and we're not proactive. And it's very important for us to kind of look at what we're dealing with. See, many people think that we fight the government. It's not necessarily the government we're fighting. We're fighting the shadow government. You see, there is those who are behind the scenes who are pulling the strings that we cannot see, and they're the ones that we're really fighting. And they have come up with plans and countermeasures to make sure that we are not here come late 21st century, early 22nd century. You see, they want to depopulate the planet, and they've come up with all kinds of ruses to do so. And we have to really get on our P's and Q's. We have to be vigilant to understand their plans and when they enact them and what we need to do. And one of those plans is the organization called Black Lives Matter, which I kind of broadcast a little bit about last year and talked a lot about how it was a Trojan horse, how it was an organization that really was not out there to fight for Black men or Black people in general. They would use the plight of Black men getting killed by police or police brutality to gather funds for their clandestine operations, and that Black Lives Matter was funded by some very wealthy individuals, the 1%, the elite. So I want to kind of bring the discussion back to this so we have a clear understanding of what this organization is about. I was watching Spike Lee's film, The Five Bloods, and at the end of the film, if you take a look at it, I'm not giving away any spoilers, but I really did like the film. They, one of the characters donates $1 million to Black Lives Matter. And I remember saying, does Spike even understand what BLM is about, and that BLM doesn't need the money? And I hear individuals talking who are liberals about coming out of their pocket and donating to BLM. I'm like, BLM does not need the money. You see, there is an economic way to destroy the Black community. And that way is the collection of funds and funding institutions, organizations within the Black community that reduces the population or that is counter to family or reproduction. Now, I want to start off by saying this. I have nothing against anyone, regardless of how they choose to live their lifestyle. So you can be transgender, you can be gay, you can be, to be honest with you, I love Orion slave girls. If you watch Star Trek, they're prevalent in the Star Trek universe. They're green, or are they blue? I'm colorblind, by the way, so I don't really know. But they're hot. So, hey, I'm not prejudiced against green or blue girls, okay, from Orion. Anyway, I digress. But what I'm saying is that your lifestyle is your business, is not my business. But what I do take issue with is an organization that comes along and pretends to be for something that it's really not. And it's actually diametrically opposed to the existence of the Black family unit. And when you're opposed to the Black family, you're opposed to procreation. And we have seen that many organizations are now funding things. We've seen them. I forgot what the organization was funding, sending all this money to Black women, and other organizations doing the same, but no funding or help to Black men who are being incarcerated at an alarming rate, who are being discriminated against on the job. Black women represent a double minority, and they're actively hired, and Black men are discriminated against. So we have to understand the nature. You see, they have never liked Black male masculinity, and you can see evidence of this when the Klan would lynch Black men, burn crosses and things of that nature, but specifically lynch Black men, they would castrate them. And what we would see in slavery was called butt breaking, where they would rape Black men in front of their family, the women. This is an attempt to nullify Black male masculinity. And the whole Me Too movement is predicated upon toxic masculinity, which is an attack against Black male masculinity. And the fear has always been, since the 1920s version of, 1920s film King Kong, where King Kong falls in love with the Fay Ray, the white girl. And this has always been the fear of these racist white men of genetic annihilation, as Francis Quest Welsing tells us. And this fear of genetic annihilation has spawned these clandestine operations, AIDS, crack in the Black community, liquor stores, funding organizations that don't promote family, like BLM. So they go about doing these things to reduce the population. Now, if you go and look at many conspiracy theory films, they all come to one consensus. And these are the white conspiracy theorist films, that they all agree that there is an attempt to depopulate the planet. And this is for both Black and whites. So it's not exclusively for Blacks, but it is targeted at Blacks first, because we represent the canary in the coal mine, the beta test, And I don't think a lot of people realize that or understand that. It's important that you see, I study the brain and how it works. I understand left brain, right brain, mammalian, reptilian, frontal lobe, things of that nature, because it really dictates how we function as a race. I'm talking about the human race, Black and white. White people operate based on left brain thinking, and Black people operate based on right brain thinking. But when you start getting into the minutia, the details like that, you start to discover some very, very interesting things, you see. And the rulers, the people behind the veil, the Wizard of Oz hiding behind the curtain, has studied us and understands how we operate. And the basic principle of how we operate is style above substance. Too many times we fall for style over substance. Barack Obama has swag, so we thought he was cool. Bill Clinton has swag, so we thought he was cool. Meanwhile, these individuals are very detrimental in terms of their policies to the Black community. We see the same thing with Kamala Harris. Everybody's saying, go Black girl, but she just recently stated that she doesn't believe racism exists in this country anymore. We have to get away from that type of superficial thinking and look at the substance of things. That, let's get into the weeds and understand what a person's policies are. How do they think? If we don't do that, then we'll have what we have in the case of Black Lives Matter, which is nothing but a cool slogan. But the reality is, behind the veil, is very detrimental to our people. Do we not realize this? We're being played. We're pawns in a chess game, not checkers, chess. And they're winning. Because we keep looking at swag, we keep looking at style, and we don't look at substance. But that's what happens when you primarily operate on the right brain. We've got to be integrated brain thinkers. We've got to both think in details and big picture. We've got to stop just looking at swag and style and saying he's cool, he looks good. But what is at the heart of the person? What are their policies? Are they good people? Black Lives Matter comes with a cool slogan and says they're for something, and all they do is nothing. They have done absolutely nothing. They have not set up any legal defense fund. They have not set up any system to get Black men out of prison. They have not lobbied Washington for anything. They have not supported reparations. In fact, all they've done is collect money. And now the question is, where has that money gone? And all of the corporations who are virtue signaling, they're now, it's cool to be about diversity, because Black Lives Matter made that cool. But the reality is these companies are not really about diversity. Hollywood is not really about diversity. It's all a ruse. It's a Trojan horse to push the real agenda. And that real agenda is to fund the LGBTQ community, which is fine if you want to fund them, but be open and honest of what you're doing with the money. Don't pretend that you're collecting money to fight police brutality against Black men and Black women, then turn around and give all that money to the LGBTQ community. Because last I checked, what is the population of the United States? What is it? We're 12 to 14%. And the transgender community is less than a percentile. It's 0.8. So who needs the money more? Where does this money need to go? When you have George Floyd and all these, we have these individuals dying, young Black men dying, and not a cent has gone to them, not a cent. Well, there's something suspect here. What's going on here? But see, we're caught up in style, not substance. When we look at Farrakhan and him dressing these men up in suits, and we think that's cool, but what does it really do? When we talk about the marching on Washington, Million Monkey March, what does that accomplish? Nothing. But for you, they look good, all marching together. We've got to work on things that actually have an impact, that actually make change. I'm seeing pictures of mothers holding automatic weapons like they're going to protect their kids, fathers holding guns, men, Black Panther Party marching with guns to look good. Well, I'm sure everybody knows where George Zimmerman is. Why is he still alive? If you are so strong and powerful marching with your automatic weapon, take George Zimmerman out. If you're really committed to the cause. But it's just symbolism. It just looks good. That's all we're about at this point. You understand? When that woman shot that man in his own apartment, she was a police officer, Amber Geiger, I believe her name was, shot the man in his own apartment. And she claimed she mistook it for her apartment, which is almost an impossibility. The Black judge and the bailiff are caressing her hair, fixing her hair. Then they go read a passage of the Bible for her, giving her this really weird preferential treatment. And then the brother's brother says, "I don't even believe Amber should go to jail." How could you say such a statement? We are confused. But I want to take a quick look at what we're dealing with here in terms of the Trojan horse. You see, there are so many of these things going on in the Black community, from the NAAC to the National Black Caucus. They're all about showmanship, but nothing in terms of real substance of change. Let's get it straight. We have this guy, Umar Johnson, who is running around collecting money for a school that will never open. But because he gets on YouTube and he starts yelling and talking about interracial relationships and how he's against it, playing into black women, he was able to collect over $2 million off of his rhetoric. And to this day, 10 years later, still hasn't opened a school. And people are asking, where has that $10 million, I'm sorry, the $2 million gone? 2 million, where has it gone? But see, this is the same thing with the pastor ministers, where you have women sit in the congregation pregnant by Pookie and Ray Ray, and the minister never calls them out because he doesn't want to offend these women, knowing that these women are living ratchet lives because these women support his congregation. The men left a long time ago. But the pimp pastor minister will say things and get up there and give a great speech. He's a good orator. And because of that, we throw him, the women throw him the money. Black Lives Matter gets up there and says some things and we throw them the money. Then the pimp pastor minister drive his Bentley, has a jet, a private jet. And we, the community, are no better off. Because we fall for it. We keep falling for the style, the good swag, the good speech. We don't examine the plan. We never asked Kamala Harris to say, do you have a plan for reparations? No, we just said, go black girl. Black girl magic, go black girl. When she actively said she would not support the black community. She said this. Our mind is so fixated on style, on symbolism. It's leading us off a cliff. So when I see Black Lives Matter or an Umar Johnson or your pimp pastor ministers, Creflo Dollar, Frederick Price, I don't blame these individuals. I blame the community at large because you should be smarter than this. You shouldn't be falling for this. That guy Umar Johnson put a school together, got $2 million without a business plan. Come on. Still doesn't have a business plan and a curriculum to this day. Still won't give you an accounting of where the money has gone. Why are you saying negative things about the brother trying to do good? No, he's not trying to do good. Why are you dissing the minister? Because he's not really a minister. Because if he was a minister, he would call out those women who were sleeping around and having different babies by different men. Coming with half naked looking to church. What kind of tight skin, yoga pants, trying to show off their butt implants? Ministers don't call that out anymore because they know they can profit off shutting up and being quiet. Black Lives Matter had on their website today, we're not for the black family. They told you on their website. It wasn't hidden. But yet everyone still wore a Black Lives Matter t-shirt, marched for them, yelled out the slogan. And all you had to do is go to their website and they told you, we're for trans. We're for trans. They just recently came out with what they call the impact report, talking about how much money they collected and where it went. I want you to take a look at that. All right. This is the Black Lives Matter Impact Report. Please follow me here. Follow me. Follow the breadcrumbs. Let's see where this is going. All right. 2020. Now we have pictures of young African Americans looking good. I don't see any trans people, but you know, we got here Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, Black Lives Matter Political Action Committee, Black Lives Matter Grassroots, and you know, Black Lives Matter Global Network, and it looks good. And you know, and I've gone through this already. And they talk about their outreach and how to use social media, and notice how they're using images of Black men and women. There's Patrice Cullors, and she's the one that just bought was $1 million house. Very interesting. With a now by the numbers, that's their email list and the actions taken. Social media, what they've done on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm not interested in that though. But here's where we get into the really good stuff. All right, this is coming from their impact report. Let's see this. Keep going. Notice how they're really nice report, making it seem like they're for the Black community. You know, we shall overcome. You know, Black lives. I mean, I don't recall police violence against transgender people, so I'm not really sure why this money is going to transgender. A black mother, Black son. Look, Black people. I don't see transgender people here. All right, so let's get down. Let's. Oh, Malcolm X. Ooh, well, we're making a strong statement by putting him on here just to get you to fall for the idea or the thought process that this is a movement for Black men. Or oh, look who we have here. Ah, okay. You know. I didn't know he was transgender. Was he? Yeah. Okay. Let's go on. Okay. So here we go. Here's the breakdown. 8.4 million in operating expenses. That's a lot. 21.7 million in grants distributed to more than 33 organizations, 23 of which are led by LGBTQ people and BLM chapters. What in the hell does 23 organizations are of LGBTQ are getting money of that 21 million? 23 organizations out of the 33 are getting grants, and those 23 are LGBTQ led. Are you serious? Where are the Black boys organization? Where are the Black men organizations? Where's the Black women organizations? Let's go on. Here are the organizations. Let's take a look. I'm going to go through this real quick. Trans United. Black Trans Circles. The Transgender District. Black Trans Travel Fund. Trans Justice Funding Project, Trans Housing Coalition, Homeless Black Trans Women's Fund, Black Trans Media, Black Trans Femmes in the Arts, and many more. This is a travesty. This is a travesty that this organization poses as an organization for straight Black men and Black women and built its organization off the back of dead Black men that were shot down by police, built its entire base of funding off Black men, dead Black men, to turn around and distribute to 23 transgender organizations out of 33. More than half of the organizations getting money of the 21 million are transgender. Make that make sense. Do you understand the con game that was pulled here? Do you understand what was done to the Black community? A bait and switch was pulled off. Was it last year that they collected $90 million? So 21 million is nothing because they collected billions, billions. We have got to stop looking at the superficial value of things. I often spoke about businesses that Black people get into, and it will be strictly focused on social currency. Businesses that were all about fashion, t-shirt companies, clothing lines, YouTube channels, social currency, but nothing of substance that would create factories, jobs for people. This is a problem that we have. It's a mode of thinking that's really going to destroy us. We've got to evolve and grow beyond this. So I'm holding the Black community accountable for what has happened here. We have been played. I told a friend last year that BLM was not for the Black family. He didn't believe me. And I begged him for several months to check their website out because they told you point blank, oh, they since removed the statement when they got called out. If you want to be a Black trans organization, fine, go be a Black trans organization. But don't pretend to be something you're not. And then take money in the billions and never give that money to the people that it was intended for, which is Black men and Black women. This is a shame. This is a shame, and we should be embarrassed. We should be collectively embarrassed. But we have done this so many times. We have fallen for the okie doke. And I hope we'll get to a point where we don't fall for this anymore. This is Qesankh Ma Keparu, son of Ma'at and Tahuti. Ma'at is the beautiful goddess Heteru. Until the next video. Thank you, and Amen Ra.